All right, guys, welcome to the MMA Fight Game Podcast. We're in an alternative studio down here in Tampa, Florida. I'm staying at my buddy Jacob's house. So if you ever need a home in Florida, you're buying a home, looking for a home, hit my boy Jacob Talman up. You might recognize this good-looking girl to my left or your right, however you're looking at it. We talked to her back almost a year ago. She has actually got her next fight, a long-awaited amateur debut. She's fighting at NEF 56 Satori with New England Fights, February 3rd, 2024 in Portland, Maine. Rachel is actually fighting out of ATT Watertown. She's 0-0, but we are super excited to have Rachel Vincent back on the call. Rachel, I truly appreciate time. We're big fans. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm super excited to having this conversation again, and hopefully we'll have one with some more results here shortly.
Yeah, like I said, we're big fans. You guys are doing big stuff over at ATT Watertown with your newly fiance, might I say.
Yeah,
Congratulations to you guys
thank
on that.
you.
That's exciting. Rick Huntsman is obviously your fiance, head coach at ATT Watertown. Before we get into the fight and your long-awaited debut, first and foremost, I just saw that you got your brown belt in Bang Muay Thai. Congratulations on that. Talk,
Thank
talk.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Talk to me about that process.
Um, so Bang Muay Thai is an incredible system for a lot of reasons, but just the growth within it is infinite. Like you'll you can get your black belt, but you never stop learning and developing as a martial artist. And Rick and I, we travel a lot to train at different affiliate schools, and um, just what you learn from every different dojo and school you visit is amazing. And martial arts is the same, but it's different everywhere. So you pick up something different. You can leave a little something as you go. And so the journey to the brown belt has been um, it's just been awesome, like you don't count the days down until you get your brown belt. You stay on the path and it steps along the way, and then all of a sudden you've got a brown belt around your waist and you think, holy crap, like how did I get here? But it's just one step after another. And the more you elevate other people, they'll elevate you back. And it's just proof of that here at our school. We've got, a good group of people, and we've got constant influx of new people being right next to the military base. But our core group, we're all rising together, and it's been super fun. And you just keep growing, and you just go in day after day and put the work in, and the work takes care of itself. So it's been really awesome.
Yeah, the next step from brown belt is it that prestigious black belt? Is that right? Am I right on my
It
belt?
is. It
How
is.
exciting! How exciting is that? Like, how long is that process from going brown to black?
It varies. There's different, like, I guess, types of black belts. One of the requirements for like the fighting black belts, you have to win a fight. So there's a few things that our sensei Dwayne Ludwig likes to have us do before we get to that point, and um, about a minimum of 2 years. At that point, you're in a leadership position, whether you necessarily wanted to be or not. You have a responsibility to give back to people as much as you've gotten from the system. So he really likes to make sure that people are stepping up at that point and feeding back into the path that led you where you are. And so once you've done your due diligence in different ways, then you're evaluated. But it's not it's not given to you just because you've got time in. Like you gotta earn for it. He'll tell you gotta bring that heat, and he means it. I've seen him like deny testing before too. Like you're not automatically granted that. You have to truly deserve it, and I think that makes it a little more meaningful for sure.
Yeah, and obviously Dwayne Ludwig is well known. He used to have one of the fastest knockouts in the UFC, former UFC fighter. I think he was training over at Team Alpha Male before he branched out to do his Bang Muay Thai system that you guys are affiliate of as well. I've met Dwayne when he's been in town before. He's a great guy, great coach. Just class act all around. And seeing what's going on over at ATT Watertown, I mean, I do see the crowds and the people you're attracting in a small community, which is great to see.
Yeah.
As well. I see you're getting your coaching chops. I know you also run the Women's of MMA of Northern New York on Instagram as well, kind of edifying and getting the women's names out there. Did I see that you did some self-defense courses too, or doing more specific geared towards women in mixed martial arts training? Is that something you do too?
Yeah, so it started like after I got my blue belt in jiujitsu. I really wanted to do a women's only class. It's a huge barrier, just getting women in the door, you know. Like even when I started martial arts, like I didn't want to roll around with sweaty dudes, and it can be, you know, a little intimidating for a lot of different reasons, for different life experiences, and it's really like transformed some of my own mental health struggles over the years, and I wanted to provide a place for women just to come in and check it out, just to give them that chance. And it's been amazing. It started Tuesday nights, no gi. We've added Thursdays. The girls want to learn some gi stuff now. So we're throwing some sports stuff in there. I selfishly am making them do a lot of wrestling because that's my passion project of lately. I've been loving the wrestling, and almost 90% of my girls are now in the regular class as well. So just to see them, you know, build each other up, build themselves up, but keep coming back enough to feel confident enough to start going in and rolling with some of the guys. Like I get so proud of that, and not like to pat my own back, but just of being able to provide that space for the opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have to, you know, allow that kind of growth mentally and physically, because it's tough as a woman to walk into a martial arts school for a cardio kickboxing class, no less for a jiu-jitsu class. We usually have a good amount of like soldiers and stuff in here, and they're all respectful, but it's still intimidating. So I love that we have a space that they can come and know, like they can get their feet under them, get familiar with some stuff before they go and really take that next, you know, step into their own empowerment. So it's been awesome. And I'm so grateful. Our leadership team has been so supportive and just promoting that, pumping it up, and getting us whatever we need to be successful with that. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's completely awesome because I mean I attend a lot of UFC fights. I attend a lot of like just mixed martial arts fights throughout the country. And you know, one thing that I always do notice is that there is a lot more women than there are men in the crowd. Like I always notice ladies, I'm always looking at the ladies that are there. And you know, I would say there's more women, which, you know, if you get that women's demographic, it's sky's the limit. And not for nothing, but watching you women compete is usually a very entertaining time because you guys just flat out scrap. And
Yeah.
it's great to see. But now, like now going to that, being a female instructor, being a female brown belt, being a female blue belt in jujitsu, and you know, brown belt in Muay Thai, what does it mean to you to see now? I don't know if you know the breaking news, but for UFC 300, you have Weili Zhang versus Yan. You have Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. But then today, you also have Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez in such a marquee bout. You have six of the best female fighters in the world being in a marquee. What does that mean to the women? What do the girls that, you know, follow the women of MMA in Northern New York think of all that?
I just think it's awesome. You know, like no matter where you stand in like the whole feminism movement,
Mhm.
it's just so awesome to see these women like standing in their own power. And you know, like something I've been really working on is like the mindset. And I worked with the wrestling mindset business for a little bit, like the predator versus prey kind of stuff. And it's kind of hard to get in that mindset. I'm a school counselor. Like I'm not a super
Yep.
aggressive person on a day-to-day basis. I'm a mom, you know,
Mhm.
but I think there's this very primal part of fighting that women for a long time haven't been allowed to tap into, but it's very much there, like just as strong as any guys like urge to fight, like female warriors, like
Mhm.
I don't know, there's a reason like you don't mess with like mama bears, you know what I mean? Like that that instinct to attack and protect is there, and there's a reason we scrap the way we do. Like we're 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 fighters, and I just think to have six incredible women on one card, it's so telling of like what's to come for MMA. Like um, it's growing. it's never going to stop growing, I don't think. But just and to see the talent within that too. So you have six women, but six very different women. Like all their styles are their own flavor, and I think that's the best part about martial arts. Like you're going to have what you're really good at, and the things that push you to and challenge you to grow a little bit more. So I'm excited for all those fights. But I think it's really telling of, you know, there's not gonna be less women in MMA. You're gonna see, I think, more and more women on the cards like that.
Yeah, and you know, obviously you're leading the charge by doing the things you're doing over, you know, at ATT Watertown. And, you know, going back to you know, you and Rick, obviously, you know, Rick has his own podcast as well. Have you been on that yet?
No,
No.
it's only for black belts, so I gotta get my black belt, and then he'll talk to me on TV, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw he was doing the Black Belt podcast, so I figured I'd give him a plug
Thank
on that.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely. And, you know,
awesome.
yeah, I see he's doing some mindset, which is a huge thing because, you know, I think who was it? Michael Bisping, you know, he goes to sports psychologist, and you know, there's Tim Grover that writes that Relentless book. And, you know, Bisping went to a sports psychologist and he goes, you know, you're not going to hang out. It's your job. So, you know, you dress the part, you look the part, you perform the part, you'll be successful. It's kind of like what I'm paraphrasing this whole thing that Michael Bisping said, but similar to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I trained for a long time before I really put too much thought. They say like fighting is 90% mental, but all the training we do in the gym, I mean, you push yourself, like when you feel like you're tired, you push yourself past that. Like there's definitely a mental toughness component, but when you really think about it, like how much mental work are you doing to be mentally tough? And so once I really thought about it in that component, like, you're doing your strength training, you're doing your cardio, you're hitting your macros, you're drinking your water, you're trying to do all the things for the recovery. You've got your grappling, your stand-up game, like you're doing all these physical things, but then like when it comes to that mental agility, that mental toughness, like that's the 1% difference between somebody who's, you know, going to be technical and sound, but not have it in them to keep going, and the person that's you're gonna keep going even when they get hit. So that's been such a huge shift in my own training, and I think that resiliency is a huge piece that a lot of people benefit from working on too.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. You know, a year ago we talked, and obviously, you know, your opponent had some medical conditions she had to withdraw, which brings us to this fight on February 3rd at NEF 56. Obviously, you're fighting a girl, Brianna Power, who does have one fight underneath her. She won by KO. What are your expectations for that fight on that night on February 3rd?
My expectations are that's going to be a fun fight. I think it'll be tough. Again, we're probably both scrappers. Honestly, I haven't watched any footage. I think Rick might have watched her fight, but um, I've just been focused on my own stuff, and I think it's cool to review tapes of your opponents, but also like so I know so much of my own stuff has changed just in the 6-week camp, no less in the past year. So I'd hate to, structure my training around something that might not even exist anymore. So for me, I'm just preparing my own game, and I know where I feel good. I know where home is for me in different ways. And so I'm just gonna go, and like I told you, like we're not going to Maine with the expectation to lose. Like we're
Yep.
driving 7 hours to get that W. We're gonna go do what we do. My team is amazing. I couldn't be here without, and they're all shapes and sizes. I've got you know, a 230-pound guy that's been one of my most consistent sparring partners, like all the way down to guys my size. But that's also reality of being a woman in the sport. That's not unique to me. I'm not under any guise that her training partners aren't the same way. So, we get a little bit tougher in that way too. Like we're standing with guys that are twice our size, and you just go and you do your own thing. So that's my plan. Just go and do what I know and leave it all there.
And this is an MMA fight. This isn't K1 or anything like that, right? I want to make sure I have
Correct.
that right. Yeah.
Hmm.
That
Yep.
that's definitely exciting. You know, I've obviously, you know, iron sharpens iron, you know, if you train with people who are better than you, you obviously get better. Obviously you had mentioned before, you and Rick go to other gyms, some things that you guys may have heard may not have resonated, say with Dwayne, but you go to somewhere in like, say, North Carolina, just like in CrossFit, I encourage my athletes to go to other places because a cue that I'm saying might not resonate with you, but you hear it from somebody else that might resonate, which makes you better, right?
Oh, 100%. And so with Sensei Ludwig, with his wife Jess, has been such a critical part in my development as well. She's a fierce woman. I don't know if you've met her, but
No.
she's amazing. She's a black belt, and like one of the first things she ever said to me, I think I was like an orange belt, and I was a little timid, like going out to Colorado, like where like TJ Dillashaw was training, like just trying to find my place in it. And we were sparring, and she came right up to me. She's like, "You don't ever let anyone back you down." And those words have just sat with me since she said that. And it's like, yeah, exactly. Like, why wouldn't I feel that way? And so you just pick up pieces like that no matter where you go, and you hope that you're planting some along the way as well. And it's a beautiful, beautiful family to be a part of. They're amazing, and it's like worldwide now. These got affiliates in like Germany and stuff, and
Awesome.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, even in our community, obviously, we have you, we have Amanda, we have Joan Nelson, we have Victoria
Mhm.
Cramp, we have Ava Chochi, which I should have messaged you and I failed, but Ava actually competed in the Munich World Championship K1 kickboxing, but the weight, I don't
I
know if you
saw
saw this fight, but she
that.
fought like up like 3 weight classes
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was like a very taller female and she held her own and it was amazing. So those are just the female, and obviously you have Shannon Rowe too, but
Mhm.
you just the female division, I'm excited. And the first thing I asked is, hey, successful win, are you going to be at full contact in April? And you're like, we'll see. But I'm
Yeah.
selfishly
I
asking that question.
I mean, I like to stay pretty focused. Like, admittedly, I haven't even really thought too much about our wedding. Like, I'm just like so focused on this weekend. But
Yeah.
there's a couple other guys that have poured into my camp that want to compete too. So I want to be able to show up for them in return. And definitely, I'm not going to say no to anything. I'd love just to keep going. It's something to be said for gaining experience and stuff. But then, you're a brown belt without a fight, and then if that fell through, you'd be a black belt without a fight. And I'm almost 30. And so, not that there's pressure, but it's like, I'm just eager to get that experience so I can grow from that piece too and pour back into my training partners who show up every day and let me punch them in the face. And
Yeah.
they're not getting paid. They're here just because they're having fun and they want to see me grow too. So it's been awesome. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Is anybody else from your gym fighting on the NFE 56 card on February 3rd?
No, I think the squad's all driving out for me, which is pretty sweet, but no one's competing. We might have somebody looking at a K1 fight shortly thereafter. Got a
Okay.
couple injuries in the school that we're healing up from, but we're all ready for some heat, so we're excited.
And I did hear in the grapevine that maybe Rick was looking to take a fight. Is that true or no?
I think I'll let you ask him that question. It varies. He's really enjoying the coaching component of it. The growth in his programs has been incredible. And so I think he would want to be at a place where he could focus. He's kind of like me. He wants to be able to dedicate himself to what he's committed to. So he wouldn't want to like take a fight on the side and try to stay super focused on everything else. So I think the timing would have to be right, but I don't know that he'd turn it down. I know he would love to do some kickboxing for sure. Um, I don't hate watching him. It's really fun, but
Yeah.
let's see what that brings for him.
So what do you think he's going to be thinking about when he's in your corner? You think he's going to be nervous for you, or he's just going to go out because he knows what you're going to do?
I actually haven't even let myself talk to him about that. It's been an
Oh, okay.
interesting, like even just within a relationship, like here we're coach and student, and then at home, obviously we have a daughter together, and so we've worked really hard to try to keep that a little bit separate so we can still exist. And, I could be pissed off at him as a coach, but when I get home, I still want to enjoy our family time. So
Absolutely.
that's been a road itself. But I don't know. His last fight, I was like 8 months pregnant for, and I thought I was gonna go into labor that night. But
I love it.
I don't know. I don't know how he's feeling about it. I think he knows that I'm just gonna go do my best, and I think he thinks that like I put the work in, and so the results will speak for themselves and we'll learn from it and go to the next one. I don't think he's scared for me or anything like that. I think he just wants me to do well, and um it'll be exciting for me to be on the other side of the cage for once.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're definitely excited for, your debut fight. We're big fans. We have high expectations for you. Obviously, NFE 56, Satori, with New England Fights on February 3rd, 2024. I was when I saw your fight announced, I immediately started messaging you and DMing you and like every platform to get a response because I know we talked back a year ago and I was high expectations on your fight, but I'm definitely expecting positive news. It's going to be a big fight between you and Brianna Power. Obviously 1-0 for her debut for you. So I'm excited. I wish you nothing but the best. Just sit tight, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.